Hello, I'm Mark. I'm the Dean at School of Communication Arts. I'm going to be using the Mac up there in a minute, if that's all right with you. I brought some friends along with me today. I've got 30 or so of my students. They're going to stand up quickly just so you see who they are. They're really good looking. They're standing at the back. There they are. That's where you can buy your drugs later. Sit back down. I've got a funny old school. I've got 36 students at my school. 1 in 3 of those that stood up just before benefit from a scholarship. It helps us bring diversity to our industry. 36 students, and I've got about 700 teachers. So we're an unusual school. You're going to meet one of our great teachers in a moment, Snowy. I've got the great pleasure of introducing her to you in just a moment. But I quickly want to tell you a bit about the school and why we're here and what we're going to do for you this morning. We work on lots of briefs in our school. We work on 50 briefs through the year. We work really hard. My students have got about a month left before they go out into the industry. And right now they're working on about 3 hours sleep a night. So they're all good customers of Nespresso or Starbucks or Red Bull or worse. And we work on 3 types of brief in our school. We work on what we call portfolio briefs. They're fun. We do silly stuff, great stuff, make our books shine with exciting work. We work on live briefs, and we try and make those as exciting as our portfolio briefs, but sometimes we need to be a little bit safer for our client. For example, at the moment, we're working on a campaign, a real live campaign for Microsoft Windows 8 to get people to buy a Windows 8 device in-store this Christmas. We're also working on a project for BP. And we work on 20-minute briefs. And today we're going to demonstrate a 20-minute brief for you in just a moment. But before I do that, and those briefs that we take in for live, by the way, they help fund scholarships. So if you represent an organisation and you're impressed by some of what you see from my school today, and you'd like to set my students a brief, know that by doing so, you're challenging your ad agency, making them work harder, and you're also helping fund scholarships, which means we can bring more diversity into our industry. I've got 3 or 4 questions that I'm going to pull out in here, and my students at the back are going to listen carefully. In a minute, they're going to run outside. They've got some paper, they've got some pens. They're going to come up with some ideas. They're going to run back in 20 minutes later after you've heard a great talk from Snowy, and they're going to share their ideas from your briefs that you've set. So thank you to those of you that have set a brief. Students, I call them lovers. Their agency this year is Love Thy Labour. Lovers. Your first brief comes from, should I say the retailer? It's Tyrac. Wouldn't it be great if we could go to the shop for a first interview? Wouldn't it be great if we could go to the shop for a first interview, e.g. get young people kitted out with essential accessories and enable their friends to comment? Oh, wouldn't it be great if Tyrac would be the go-to shop for a first interview? E.g. get young people kitted out with essential accessories, so make people go to Tyrac when they got their first interview. That's your first problem. Get people that are going for their first jobs to go to Tyrac to look smart for their first jobs. Second one, wouldn't it be great if you could generate greater loyalty with young consumers? Wouldn't it be great if you could get young consumers to be more loyal consumers? That's your second problem. Your third one is, wouldn't it be great if... What would drive you to interact with a luxury brand? Wouldn't it be great if we could persuade people to interact with a luxury brand? Thank you for that one. And the last one I'm going to pull out is, wouldn't it be great if boys could be sure what their girlfriends wanted? Maybe I should carry on. Wouldn't it be great if boys could be sure what their girlfriends wanted without having to ask them? So, for example, when they're buying, I guess, fashion out and about, lingerie, this sort of thing, maybe. Wouldn't it be great if boys could be sure what their girlfriends, plural, for you players out there, wanted without having to ask them? Those are your 4 problems, my lovers. and I'll see you outside in just a moment. And now please welcome back down here our students. They're going to come and stand down here at the back in their teams of 2, and I'll introduce them team by team in just a moment. Please put your hands together and welcome your lovers. I should explain that every year, whilst they're coming down, every year our students come up with a name for the agency in their school. It's based around the theme of the year. This year they like making stuff. For example, they're making a TV documentary at the moment. And because they like making stuff, they call themselves Love Thy Labour. Last year, we invaded lots of agency pitches. We stole business away from big agencies, and so we called ourselves Spank. So this year, they're Love Thy Labour. 20-minute briefs are right dangerous, particularly when we do them live. You just don't know what you're going to get. The great Edward de Bono said that if you are having great ideas every time you're being creative, you're not being creative enough. So what happens on a 20-minute brief cycle is usually, if we've got sort of 10 or 15 teams presenting, we hope for 2 or 3 corker of ideas. So we're looking for 2 or 3 today. I imagine we might have a bit more with the adrenaline, but who knows? I don't know what we're going to get. But what I'm going to do is start at one end, ask the team to come up, I'll introduce them. They've got 60 seconds to pitch their idea. You'll clap, you'll scream, you'll go wild. Gentlemen, you'll throw your pants at them. And then we'll move on to the next team. Please first by welcoming all the way from over there, Jack and Sirhan. Jack and Sirhan, you take the mic. Tell us your idea. You've got 60 seconds.
Hi, how you doing? Our idea is for Tyrak, and you team up with Monster, and Monster then you go through and they go in the details of then when you actually get the job interview through, and what Monster will do is help you organise all the stuff you've got to do for your job interview like 2 days before, and Tyrak will be part of that. So they'll get your haircut in your area, the local Tyrak in your area. What else? Dry cleaning in your area, and organise your whole morning, because if you haven't got a job, you're probably not an organised person or whatever. And then, while you're getting your haircut, you'll be able to choose out of the range of ties and stuff like that and share them and see which ones your friends like the most out of the ties.
Tom and Bex.
Hello. This sort of reminds me of being in the school nativity play being done here. We were trying to solve the problem, how would you help boyfriends know what to buy for their girlfriends? And we've come up with the Boyfriend's Little Helper filter. And basically what it does is it scans your Instagram pictures for information on where you were, like what she was wearing, what you were doing. And then it sort of collates all sorts of suggestions from sort of Google and relevant blogs and searches, and tells you sort of deals that are kind of, related, to sort of give you a much wider choice of something that she might like. So it sort of is more intuitive than the boyfriend would usually be able to be.
The little Latvian, put your hands together for Martins and David.
Hello. So we did an idea for Tyrak. So Tyrak is all about first impressions, and as we know that when you sign up for a job, the company is looking you up on social media. So Tyrak creates an application where it suggests you what kind of pictures maybe you need to take up out of Facebook, what kind of tweets you need to delete, what kind of Google images you need to delete. So it's all about first impressions.
Good stuff. Put your hands together, please, for Mel and Jack.
Okay, ours was quite similar with the same insight that Tyrak was for first impressions, but we kind of wanted it to be if you wear your heart on your sleeve, you wear your confidence on your chest. So when you go into Tyrak, red might signify, maybe it's more of an angry color in the financial sector, but if you're going for a job, I don't know, in a grocer, maybe it means something else. So if you go into Tyrak, we want them to kind of be the experts, and you buy the tie before you buy the suit, so you can kind of express your creativity and your character through that. And
that's the first stop for first impressions.
We're going for Asian Provocateur. The opportunity is for men to buy underwear for women, not just that they look sexy in, but for the women to feel good in.
So our idea is that we team up with a series of bloggers because they have like really high influence and a high following. So blogs like Refinery29 have 500,000 hits a day, 300,000 followers on Facebook. So what we would do is we would release Asian Provocateur styles to them. They would post on their blogs what they like. Then we get a man to go on the Asian Provocateur website, type in their girlfriend's name, and it would collect their data and find out what kind of style's right for them.
Julie and Hayley.
Hiya. So our idea basically was for lingerie. What we were thinking of doing is when your girlfriend logs on to any lingerie site, it automatically connects to her Facebook, so it knows who she's in a relationship with. So the way cookies work, they spot what you've looked at more than once. The same technology would then be used to send an email to your boyfriend showing him what you've been looking at.
Thank you. Nice and simple. Zish and Duke.
So we decided to do Tyrac, and it's the interview MOT, basically also reinforcing brand loyalty. So what we do is on Tyrac's website, you'll be able to actually have an interview checklist. So therefore, also once again, reinforcing brand loyalty. Experiential, so that before you actually go into interviews, you can go there and need to do a once-over to make sure that you're looking okay. And then once you finish the interview, you can come back and actually come and let them know how you've done. With regards to targeting, we go onto like job sites, job fairs, universities, etc. And we'd have a little print campaign, which we've done. Haven't got a line yet, but basically it's like an MOT, a person lying down on like one of those platforms with like spanners and stuff to sort of, your MOT campaign.
Tom and Andrea.
So we did the girlfriend one. So the brief was, the brief, I won't say it. Basically, you get an added feature on Pinterest to create a couples account. So your girlfriend and your boyfriend can both add pins to that account. And if you're clueless on what to get, then just have a little look.
Nick and Tom.
Hi, so we're helping out boyfriends as well. Our insight is that every girlfriend has a best mate which she shares all her information with.
We wanted to give guys a chance to get advice from those girls, their best friends. So we thought when you're on Facebook, if your relationship status changes and you say that you're in a relationship, that there would be an agent provocateur app which can connect you with your girlfriend's best friend network. The boy can ask advice on things she might like, and that group of girlfriends can reply anonymously. So it's not like he's chatting to his best friends, his girlfriend's best friends, but he's just anonymously getting advice from them. So, thanks.
Max and Ranners.
So we thought it'd be really easy to spot people who worked at Tyrac here, but no one's wearing any ties, as far as I can see. So that's good. So our solution is the love film of ties. To explain quickly, you've got a job interview, but you don't have any ties because you're fresh out of school or uni. Tyrac have got the solution. Bring proof of your interview into the shop, and you can sign up for Tie Trade, the tie subscription service.
So you get a free tie to take away to wear to your interview, which you can keep, and then 3 new ties are mailed to you each month. You can choose them online or receive random ties from a collection.
This keeps your collection fresh, your wardrobe on point, and it's really cost effective.
And if you find a tie that you love so much you want to keep it, you can simply buy it outright, and it's yours.
Thanks.
Yeah. Michael and Andrea. Mandrea.
Hi, thank you for having us. So we worked on Tyrac. We felt there was a number of different aspects with the first time interview. 2 of the most important being pressure and obviously the appearance, so first impressions count. So the idea we went along with
was creating the mock-up interview. So this way, your first interview is not the first interview anymore. The idea is that when the customer comes to a store, you will, while they shop, you will do an interview to them as well. We will try to, there will be a Facebook app to get information before the customer comes to the store.
That's it. Thank you.
Jay Shree and Royanne.
We came up with a really simple idea for the boyfriend problem. So we wanted to create a Facebook plugin that integrates with your other social networks. So, for example, it will collect information from Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, anything, basically, comments, likes of the selected person you want to choose, and then from that generate a sort of list of what she likes, what she comments on, and then, yeah.
And it would be ranked in order of relevance. So, for example, if she's sharing, posts about shoes or whatever, then you'd know that that would be the thing that's most current on her mind or whatever, and then you've got the option to choose from that. And it would work with other, like Ryan said, other social media networks too.
Beautiful.
So you've got a choice.
Rory and Maria.
Hello. We did tie rack, and there's one a little bit similar, but it's different. So the idea is about renting a tie for the job interview. So you put an advert on LinkedIn advertising tie rental, and if you get the job, you get to keep the tie. And so the information that you gather from that, you can put information about the success rate of every tie, and then put that back into the ads.
Yeah.
So
lucky ties.
So yeah, and that might change for what kind of job it is, and it might change through the year. So we gather all that information to recommend the best tie for the job that you're going for.
Tom and Tom.
Hi guys. When we do these 20-minute briefs, if you at the end someone's probably already had your idea, which has sort of happened to us.
Just pretend it's new.
Yeah.
So the idea is that linking, if you're in a relationship on Facebook, you link together, and when you sign up for ASOS or any online retailer, it knows. So lots of the insight comes from girlfriends who go on these these things and click on stuff, put it in their basket, and then at the end of it, just don't buy anything. So if you've added it to your basket multiple times, the guy gets alerted with what the most popular items are, so he knows exactly what to buy her. Then he gets priority, and it would be an app or a thing, a widget, and it would just say the priority of stuff she's added.
And finally, Josh and Vicky.
Hey, okay, so we did the second one, which was the greater loyalty with younger consumers. So basically created an app that we thought would be good for a clothing brand. So for this one, we're just going to say Topshop. So basically, once you've downloaded the app, it scans your Facebook profile photos and also remembers searches you've done on your phone since then on the Topshop website.
So yeah, it would compile a list of all your favourites, and then the next time you walk into Topshop, you'll get a notification on your phone, and it will be like, it will say something like, in 5 minutes be in changing room 5, and it will have all the clothes that you've searched for waiting for you to try on.
Really nice.
So in that time, it just makes it really quick and easy to use, yeah.
Well done. You've just seen what happens on a 20-minute. I think this was a good 20-minute. Hopefully some ideas that you guys will take back to the studio, push a bit further, put in your book for Portfolio Day. If you enjoyed this, I ask you to go to your agencies, if you have agencies, and ask if they support our school. We're a social enterprise, we're owned by the industry, about 100 agencies support the school. If yours doesn't, call a picture of you. If you'd like to set us a brief, do set us a brief. We work on live briefs all the time. It helps fund scholarships. Thank you so much for listening. I think we're going to go into back to your host for the day.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. If we've got coffee now till 11:25, but if the retailers who the students, fantastic stuff. If you're a retailer and they worked on one of your briefs, if you could get with Belinda during coffee, and we'll choose a winner, and they'll get £100 worth of iTunes vouchers. I'd just like to introduce you to Headley Aylott from Summit. He's got the judges' feedback for the students from their 20-minute pitches.
Good morning, everybody. So this was pretty tough. I'm sure, as you were, I was completely inspired by 20 minutes of creativity from such exotic minds as we saw this morning, and it was a really tough job to be asked who was the winner. But let me explain. There are a lot of good ideas, but there's a real difference between a great idea and something which meets a brief. And this winner is something which could be executed quite simply, would allow the business to continue to trade without having to go back to its business model, and would allow the brand to engage with a new customer audience in a really meaningful way. And the winner is clean up your social profile with an app before interview. So that is Martin and David. Come down and receive your prize.
Congratulations. Thanks. Well done. Hope you share those.
Yeah, will do, yeah.
Just to note, there were some other really good ideas around the ties and perhaps changing the business model around subscription ties. Again, brilliant idea, but to execute that may have been a real issue for the business to change the way it made its margin and the way it sold its ties. And in this instance, the business could continue to trade. And this was completely additional and was almost a campaign. So that's why they won. Well done, guys.